Hey guys, lesson 3.6, fractions, decimals, and percents. Our learning target today is to be able to identify how these three forms of numbers are related and how to convert to any form. We begin with a warm-up. I'm asking you to review from lessons 3.2 and 3.5, find at least one equal fraction, and also write the decimal equivalent for each of the following. Please press pause and take a moment to complete that task now. If we want to write the equivalent decimal here, we would divide 1 divided by 2, and we would see 0.5. In this case, if we wanted to write the equivalent decimal, we could divide 11 divided by 20, and we would see 0.55. In this next one here, ladies and gentlemen, if we wanted to write the equivalent decimal, we would see 360 divided by 100 would be 3.6. For each of these, your fraction could take a lot of different forms. Therefore, I am not going to highlight the fraction just because there could be so many different forms of the fraction. Let's go ahead and continue. Today's lesson, we incorporate percents. Just a reminder of what a percent is, ladies and gentlemen. A percent can take a few different meanings for us. A percent could be as simple as the percent symbol. Percent really means per 100 or out of 100. It can also take on the meaning of times 100th. So as we take a look, 15% could also be interpreted as 15 per 100, or in the fraction form 15 per 100. We could also see it as 15 times 100th, giving us 0.15. If we were to divide out this fraction, 15 divided by 100, we would actually find the equivalent decimal 0.15. These are all different versions of a percent. We make conversions just like we did with fractions and decimals. If we want to convert from a decimal to a percent, pretty simple. We just take our decimal times 100. If we want to convert from a fraction to a percent, we take our numerator divided by the denominator, which will give us the decimal, and then times 100. And if we want to convert from a percent to a fraction, we simply take the percent out of 100 and simplify or clear our decimals if necessary. So let's take a look. In our examples today, I've given you one form of a number. You are asked to give the missing form of each number below. So in our first example, we have the fraction form for 1/8. The decimal, pretty easy to come by. 1 divided by 8, we would probably use a calculator to do this. We could do this by hand. 1 divided by 8 is 0.125. If we want to convert to the percent form, we take our 0.125 and multiply by 100. Don't need a calculator for that. Multiplying by 100 shifts our decimal point 2 places to the right. So we would end up with 12.5%. In our decimal form here, 0.52, we can very quickly convert this to a percentage by multiplying by 100, moving our decimal point 2 places to the right, 52%. We could convert to a fraction a couple different ways. We could look at 52 out of 100. Based on the percentage here, 52% would be 52 per 100. Or we could use the place value of our 52 hundredths, means 52 over 100. We would get 13/25 because that can be simplified by dividing out the 4. Over here we've got 3.5%. We want to convert this to a fraction and a decimal. We'll begin with our fraction conversion. 3.5% means 3.5 per 100. Generally, we would not have a decimal in a fraction, so our first step in this case would be to multiply both numerator and denominator by 10. That way, we could eliminate the tenths place from the 3.5. We would have 35 over 1,000. We can simplify out a factor of 5 from each of these, coming up with 7 over 200. If we want to convert this into a decimal, we could divide 7 divided by 200, which would give us 0.035. This can also be done by taking our decimal in 3.5 and shifting it 2 places left. In 2/15, so we would take 2 divided by 15 to find our decimal. 0.13 repeating in this case. There's actually a repetin bar over the 3 because the 3 will repeat itself. Percentage form, if we multiply that by 100, we come up with a 1.3 repeating.